Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into a situation today that could literally redefine Nvidia's global trajectory. We're talking about the incredible stakes of unlocking the China market. If you're a focused learner trying to wrap your head around the latest AI market opportunities, you are definitely in the right place.
Okay, let's dive into this, because right now we are staring at the billion-dollar question. Is the next big AI move happening way faster than we expected? The news coming out right now could be absolutely massive for Nvidia investors, and things are moving fast. We're going to map out exactly what's going on, step by step, so you can see the whole picture.
Section 1. The big math. The $54 billion AI opportunity.
2 million. Just let that number sink in for a second. Recent reports are showing that Chinese companies might already be sitting on demand for over 2 million of Nvidia's highly coveted H200 AI chips. The sheer volume from this single market is just staggering. It really sets the stage for a massive, massive financial windfall. So let's actually do the math on that. If you take those 2 million chips and multiply them by an estimated average price of, say, $27,000 a pop, you get over $54 billion in potential revenue. It's a monumental figure, a number so big it could fundamentally alter Nvidia's financial trajectory if that pipeline opens up completely.
And look at this. Even after you factor in export duties and the headaches of navigating international restrictions, Nvidia could still potentially generate tens of billions in extra sales. We're talking about an absolute ocean of free cash flow if the China market fully opens up again. This unprecedented scale of potential capital is exactly why investors are watching this space like a hawk.
And this brilliantly illustrates who is already relying on them. You've got the heavy hitters right here: Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Google, OpenAI. They are heavily dependent on NVIDIA GPUs for their AI infrastructure. NVIDIA is the bedrock. Now, remember, China is still one of the largest AI markets in the world. So if restrictions soften up, NVIDIA's already massive growth story gets exponentially bigger. Access to China alone could give the stock a major short-term boost if sales officially restart at scale.
Section 2. The geopolitical wall. Navigating U.S.-China relations.
Let's break down the current reality impartially here. Recently, Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang actually traveled to China alongside a U.S. delegation connected to Donald Trump. Naturally, folks were hoping this high-profile trip might spark a major breakthrough for Nvidia's business over there. And sure, while the U.S. government has approved limited sales of those H200 chips to selected Chinese companies, the reality is there are still intense, ongoing regulatory restrictions. There is absolutely no final deal in place.
Because at the end of the day, actual shipments are still facing severe political and regulatory roadblocks on both sides. Despite all that incredible market demand we just talked about and hopes for a diplomatic breakthrough, the physical movement of this hardware is heavily stalled by strict international trade rules. It's basically a massive waiting game dictated by government policy and international relations.
Section 3. The hometown challengers. China's domestic AI threat.
Here is the twist. China is pushing incredibly hard to build up its own domestic AI chip industry. They are actively seeking to ditch their reliance on U.S. hardware and replace it with local tech, because think about it. The longer that geopolitical wall stands, and the harder it is to import chips, the more incentive Chinese companies have to just develop powerful homegrown silicon.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is who we're actually talking about. We're not talking about tiny, unknown startups stepping up to the plate. We're talking about massive tech titans. Companies like Huawei and Alibaba are pouring serious resources into developing real alternatives to NVIDIA hardware, aiming to capture that exact same multi-billion-dollar demand. So NVIDIA's future in China isn't just threatened by politics, it's threatened by fierce, well-funded local competition.
Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 4, the catalyst, the upcoming earnings report. This is the big one. This is exactly what Wall Street is sweating over right now. When Nvidia releases its numbers, investors are going to be laser-focused on 3 specific things: their official China market guidance, the overall global AI demand, and their future chip sales projections. The details buried in this report, they could definitively trigger the stock's next massive move.
Which leaves us with the ultimate question for you. Do you still think Nvidia Corporation is a buy right now? Or is the stock already too expensive given all these political hurdles and the rising competition? Drop your opinion in the comments below. And hey, if you want more AI stock updates, investing news, and future market opportunities, make sure you subscribe to Smart Money Moves USA and hit that bell icon, because the next big move is going to be discussed right here. Thanks for learning with me today on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.